Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live, all the things. Happy Monday. Kay Kitty and Laura are one of the first two to comment. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Please make sure to take 2 seconds and hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up if you're not already subscribed. I would really appreciate it. I hope you are doing well. We are thankfully having great weather here, but I am hearing from some chumpettes that they are snuggled up waiting for the ice and snow to go down. Clearly, lots of our friends in the LA areas are waiting for all these fires to go away and get more contained. I don't think I've heard anything today, but I'll be the first to tell you I haven't listened to the news a lot today. I had other stuff to get done with. But continued prayers for everyone. Obviously, we're hearing the death toll go up, which is just awful. We're seeing the pictures of wild animals coming out from the forest. Do you call it forest, mountains? I don't know what it's called. Wildlife coming out. The lost pets. Obviously, there's always, dogs and cats that don't have a family. They're on the streets, so they didn't even have owners to rescue them. So we're seeing all that, and the videos from the firefighters like pausing to take care of, like, even, I don't know what they were, foxes or something. I saw something that you'd normally be scared of, and they were like coming up to this firefighter to get some water and get some help. So, bunny rabbits, I mean, all the things. It's just really awful, and I continue to hope that everyone stays safe, that all these fires, if anything is going on with awful people that are doing anything on purpose or helping instigate any of this along with Mother Nature, I hope that piece of shit stops. Pieces of shit anyway. So anyways, okay, we are going to open up the comments. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Hello from Berry Chili, Boston. Hello, Mary Kate. Yes, hello, everybody. Okay, let's get started. I did watch the Jerry Springer documentary this weekend. I didn't even know it was coming out. My husband told me. So days ago, he was like, hey, let's have a date night Saturday night and watch the Jerry Springer documentary. And I was like, that is perfect. That sounds like the perfect date night. So anyways, it's a 2-part on Netflix. It was pretty good. Obviously, well, unless you didn't know, Jerry Springer passed away, I think, from cancer in 2023. He was 79 years old. So you got to hand it to him. The Jerry Springer show was canceled in 2018. Not because of, well, kind of because of ratings, I guess, based on the producers, that the main 2 producers they interviewed during the main of it, basically said that, like lawsuits, the cancel culture, like basically the big wigs kind of got to them and said, oh, you can't do that. We can't do that. You can't do that. Well, without that, there really wasn't a show, right? So there really wasn't the Jerry Springer show. So it ended, but I think it started in like 1992. It said it's a pretty good documentary, and it's very short, so it's worth watching. If you are like me and you admit to watching, trash TV, like, Jerry Springer. Hey, in Oregon, Julie. Jet says, I thought the Jerry documentary was so-so. It was okay, but there was a lot more that I didn't already know. I mean, that's true. I didn't know anything about these 2 executives. I had seen the guy that was the big wig on TV, the guy that smoked the cigars and stuff. We would see him, but yeah, there wasn't a lot. Tiffany Chump said she fell asleep during it. So anyways, it's pretty good. But yeah, I've seen much better documentaries, right? I've also seen worse documentaries. Probably one of the worst, and I really had such high hopes for it, but it was really not that great. Andrew McCarthy, the 80s, 90s, heartthrob, if you ask me, that did this. Anyways, I didn't think that document was very good, but we've already chatted about that one for sure. So anyways, we will open it up for questions on anything at the very end of the show. 713-489-8488. You can call in anytime that we're live, to 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. If not, it will go to voicemail. And if you have an advice thing or a comment or a question, we can always read it then. So that's an option also. I also watched Sold on Salt Lake City. I think just episode 4. So only 1 through 4 out. This is the new show that comes on after Real Housewives. Oh, would you show us Luna sometime? We'd love to see that. I show her all the time on it. Not all the time, but sometimes on Instagram. Lulu, she's laying down beside me. Luna, she's not even moving. Lulu, I mean, poo-poo. I mean, she's not even moving. When I tell you she's not even moving, I mean, not a bit. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to take my camera and show her, but let me see. Okay. You're going into my dog. Look at the nasty carpet. I mean, this is carpet of a 19-year-old house, right? Luna, Lulu. I mean, literally, Luna, Luna. I mean, let's. There she is. I was about to like touch her. What a dog. I mean, literally, this girl. Luna, they wanted to see you. Okay, well, there's Luna, right? Anyways, okay, how's your Sunday show? Is Sarah? Oh, yeah, so I did start an Instagram subscription again. We do go live on Sunday evenings unless I'm traveling or have to cancel it. But so we did it last night for the first time at 7:00 Eastern. It was fun. I know, is she breathing? I know. Literally, what is she so tired from? I promise you, she follows me around all day and lays just like that. The only time she moves is if there's a squirrel, if there's a bird, or if my daughter's boyfriend's dog comes over to play with her. And then she was wiped out the other day from that. I mean, completely wiped out. Like she even put herself in the crate and laid down. It was hilarious. So she's my lazy Luna. Anyways, okay, what were we chatting about? So if you do join the subscription on Instagram, it's $4.99 a month. We have a special private chat set up that everyone really loved last time I had this. And I apologize. Y'all know I make rash, emotional decisions. And it was one of those. And last year I was going through a moment when I felt like everyone was shitting all over me. Not everyone, but it felt like that. And I just canceled the subscription. But anyways, it's back and so much fun. And I just love having our own little private space to chat and all that stuff. So basically it's an Ask Me Anything. We chat about anything. You can come up on the live. I don't think at this point, I was going to do YouTube also. I know there's a few people that let me know. For some reason, Instagram does not let them join my subscription. I have no idea why. It's not a credit card issue. None of that. I mean, I don't get your credit card, that goes to Instagram, but I don't know why. But it's just too hard to post the content to Instagram and post the content to YouTube. And going live at the same time isn't really that difficult, but I feel guilty if I don't put up put up all that stuff. So anyways, what else is going on? Sold on Salt Lake City. Okay. So I think it was Mama Judy that warned me, said, it's kind of boring until the end of episode 3. Well, Luna moved. She wasn't wrong. The very end of Salt Lake City, I already chatted about the other day. But they're having a Cinco de Mayo party. And this girl, Kylie, like who the hell is Kylie? Kylie is a friend of Malaysia. Malaysia is one of the real estate ladies. Malaysia's hosting the party. Kylie tells Malaysia, hey, I know something and you're just going to die. Basically, she says 4 out of my 5 sisters are strippers. And Matt, who's a regular as a realtor, and he's got little kids, he's got a wife that's working. It doesn't sound like she might want to work, but in the Mormon culture, it's very much like women only work. This isn't 1,000%, and it's a generalization. I'm saying this because I've watched the show. It sounds like Matt would prefer his wife not to have to financially work, okay? That maybe she would only work if she chose to work. but it sounds like he's going through a rough patch. He's had to sell a car, downsize things, and all that. So the financial stress is there. And then to find out that this Kylie says, my sisters say that Matt is a regular at the strip club for years. And he basically said, look, I'm about to be on this reality TV show. And once it comes out, I'm going to have to quit coming because people are going to recognize me. And it was true. So Kylie, she's the girl in green on the show, goes and like tells everyone at this party. It's not a huge party. There's maybe 25 people there at this party, and it's almost all family. It's the work people, it's the spouses, it's the agents at this Presidio that Jennifer owns. Okay, so they're all tight knit. They all go to each other's houses. I mean, to be honest, there's been 4 episodes. I hardly ever see them selling a house. I'm like, do y'all even work? It's all them hanging out and knocking on their boss's door. I'm like, who the hell's showing up at their boss's house all the time? But anyways, so Malaysia calls. Malaysia's had a few tequila shots and calls Matt over and is like, hey, I heard something about you and whatever. He's like, oh, what? Nothing's going on. I'm good. Don't worry about me. All is good. And she's like, well, I know someone that works at a strip bar. And then they zoom in on his face and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go home and talk to my wife and discuss some things. So he takes his mic off. People are like chasing after him. This guy named Kenny, his wife, Nicole, had gone home. This is where the produced part comes in. Okay. Why was Kylie there? She was absolutely there with her hair and makeup and a cute green dress on, knowing she was going to be on camera, knowing that she had this information about Matt. She knew Matt was going to be there. She did this all on camera. I mean, I'm not mad at it because I don't think in real time we've ever seen something get accused like this and then it really be true. It was very raw. It was very ballsy, if you will, for Matt and Nicole to show their conversation a day or two later on the bed talking about their marriage and that this is cheating and why didn't you come to me? Why didn't you tell me? And then the producer said, have you ever kissed anyone? And he mumbles something like, no, I'm not going to talk about that. And then the producer says, this is all in like the confessional. How much money have you spent at the titty bars? And he's like, oh, I'm definitely not talking about that. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I do not know what Sold on Salt Lake City is paying them. I do not know how much it's worth it to these people to be famous, to be on TV. Is it helping their business? Are they growing? Are more people asking for Matt as a realtor? I don't know what any of this is doing to them. All I know is in real life, he's really married. Although I thought he was into boys when I first watched episode 1. I just saying what I said. And he's got young kids. So this is going to be out there forever that he is admitting this. So as much as I love reality TV, that was probably the first and only time that I remember someone actually accusing someone of infidelity. They're calling it infidelity between themselves because she's like, that's cheating in the Mormon church and our marriage and our loyalty. And we got married in the temple and all this stuff, So it was very raw. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm definitely going to be watching episode 5. So if you can get through episodes 1 through 3, wait, how have you watched it already? Michael Riley says the gay bar comes out episode 9. Wait, are y'all talking about Sold on Salt Lake City? Look at that. Look at all the hours I'm saving by not watching that show. I don't know what you're saying. Is that for real? High heels and lipstick in episode 10. Are y'all being funny about Matt? Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? I thought y'all had seen the early episodes. And I'm like, bullshit. You better be sending that shit to me. Like, I want these early episodes. But honestly, I don't know why. I wouldn't even say I respect these people. I'm like, why when you know you have it, because he now admits he's been doing this for a long time. He's had an issue with self-esteem and he would lock himself in his closet. And I'm like, oh, you were locking yourself in the closet as a kid. I'm like, I still think you're in the closet, but okay. Lock himself in the closet because of low self-esteem and people teasing him and all this stuff. And that's how he would make himself feel better. So he would go to the titty bars. So this isn't new to him. And then he signs up to go on a reality TV show when he's married in the temple and acts like, oh, I don't drink alcohol. I don't do this. I don't do that. I've got these precious young children. I'm like, dude. So I don't know in real time. Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. He says it's a coping mechanism from low self-esteem. He grew up, he had no friends. He's a cute guy. Like, I don't understand, but the theme of this show is definitely shame. But, I feel like I know so much. I live attached, my cul-de-sac, my subdivision is attached to a Mormon church, the only Mormon church that I know of in our area. I mean, we've got a ton of Baptist church, ton of Methodist, ton of less Catholic, but some Catholic. We are attached to a Mormon church. But I've learned more about Mormons and everything from Salt Lake City, from the TikTok Mormon girls, and now this show and the shame that can come, not everybody. But anyway, so it's really sad. What's it then? Yes, Tiffany. Yes, exactly. It's like the people that are doing bad things. I'm sorry, Tiffany Chump. The people that often accuse other people of bad things, and I learned this on Dr. Phil too. People that accuse their spouse of cheating or doing something bad are often the ones that are doing something bad. Tiffany Chump says, and then Matt accused the other lady, Tina, of hating Mormons. So he was allegedly spreading that rumor to her best friend, which could absolutely hurt her business because she is do you call it a former Mormon? Former Mormon? Like, how do you projecting? Exactly, Jet. It's called projecting. Exactly. So, you dig your own hole, Matt. If you're gonna drown other people to lift yourself up, and then you've got your own stuff going on, I mean, I guess I'm okay for it all to come out. He signed up for it. It's not like he's on this reality show and he had no idea. He's literally paid to put a mic on and go and record his real stuff. It's not like, oh, this is only going to be about real estate. No, most of the show is their private lives, which I'm sort of liking. You know what I mean? What was Kevin Kline in? I love him. Who is Kevin Kline? Bev? Kevin Kline. Why does that name sound familiar? I have no idea. Is he on this show? There's a Kenny, but it's not a Kevin. I don't know of a Kevin on this show. Anyways, Lisa Barlow and John Barlow showing up to go have dinner with Sarah and Chris. I'm just like, that is the fakest. They've been on 2 or 3 episodes now, and it's like, do you have our tequila? Oh, then I would like a tequila. What is it? What's their tequila? Has anyone gone to a bar? Had anyone heard of this tequila before? And what's it called? He's famous. Oh, who is Kevin Kline? I just can't think of who that is for some reason. Anyways, they're Vita tequila. Thank you. Yeah, Mike O'Reilly's like, never heard of it. I love that. Tiffany Chump says, I've never heard of Vita tequila, and I'm at the bars a lot. You are my girl. Anyways, so they're on there just to spread the information about their tequila for sure. At the very end, they call Jennifer, the owner, calls a company meeting, and I'm like, even the people were like, why is anyone else here? This looks like an issue between, if anyone, Jennifer, the owner, Presidio, the real estate company, and the Malaysia, who told him. And then I don't even, yeah, I guess he does do something wrong because, that's going to impact their business, his business, which affects Jennifer's business. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But she called it a code of ethics meeting. And I'm like, well, we could have talked about a lot of things probably at that meeting. You know what I mean? Anyways, okay. Oh, did we talk about Andy Cohen? We did not. Spencer Pratt, who's playing Heidi's music. I've been playing it on Spotify, and then I just turn it off. I didn't do it now because the phone calls need to come in later. If anyone wants to call, question, comment, advice, what have you. Spencer Pratt is got his wife Heidi on #1 on all the music charts from her album from like 15 years ago. So he is way on TikTok a lot right now, trying to raise money, trying to get a big brand to give him a deal to get back on TV. Maybe Hulu is something's going to happen. I mean, I like his TikToks. I really do. In TikToks, wait a minute. Do we have 6 more days until TikTok is gone? Oh my God. What about Kevin Kline? Did he pass away? Like, why are y'all talking about Kevin Kline? Anyways, he was in a musical. I have no idea. Kevin Kline. Now I feel like I feel like I can visualize him, but I can't think of who he is. Anyways, Andy Cohen live this morning. He put up a video of Lucy, who's now about 2.5, having a dream about lollipops and cupcakes. It was really cute. One of his Instagram stories, it goes away in like 24 hours, but he didn't show her face. And I'm kind of wondering if in 2025, I think he's already showed her face already, but I can't remember in 2025, I mean, but it was almost 3 years ago that he stopped showing Ben's face. But he talks about Ben, he talks about Lucy, he shows their voices, he'll show like the sides of their face sometimes, but I'm curious if he's going to stop showing her, because I think he said eventually he would stop showing both of his kids' faces on social media because they didn't sign up for they're not old enough to make these decisions, you know what I mean? He did get Botox over the weekend, I think for the first time, I'm not sure. I never watched or listened to the Jess Cagle show, which was the Jess Cagle and Julia Cunningham show. It's almost like Andy Cohen Live. And I'm like, you have a full-time 100% co-host with you. Why is it not called the Andy and John show? Like, I don't understand that. So it's interesting. But they interviewed Julia Cunningham. She is coming out with her own show, same time slot, starts today, but there's no Jess Cagle. But it doesn't sound like there's any bad blood because Andy talked to him recently. Jess Cagle talked to him recently, made sure he was okay, like his house was still there and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what's going on, or they didn't promote what he's doing next. So that might be a sign. I don't know. Phoebe Cates. Oh, Tiffany Chump, you're the one that called in and told him to get Botox? Why? I like Andy's face. I like all the wrinkles. I don't know. Lisa is number 41 on hitting the like button. Thank you so much, Lisa in Kentucky. Why do I say it like that? I start talking like Brittany from what are going on with the Vanderpump Rules people? They've been kind of quiet, except for Jax is super weird, you know, whatever. Oh, I don't want that one on. I'm trying to get that off. Okay. 90 Day Fiance, season 7, episode 20, first tell all. Did you watch it last night? I'm telling you, the TLC tell alls are the best. They really are. They do it so much better than the last few reunions that they drag out. Okay, I'm trying to look. Okay, Jet says, I used to not like Spencer and Heidi because they were so thirsty, but they really are going through it now. So I have so much empathy for them and their kids. Plus, his parents lost their house too. I just like that he's real. I like that someone says, oh, you're so thirsty. And he's like, yeah, I got bills to pay. Like, the crystals, he has a crystals business. He's like, it's not doing well. Like, it's terrible. He's like, I got to pay for these 2 kids and my wife. And anyways, he doesn't bother me. I love when he feeds the hummingbirds. I don't know. I kind of like it. I told him he needed to do it preventatively before the lines get too deep. And he said it was too late for that. I mean, but he's about 54, 55. I guess it's never too late. Yes. Annette says Niles was on fire. I mean, it's almost like he planned it, because when he and Matilda were talking before, he was like, look, if I get real upset, just tell me to calm down. And she definitely had to tell him to calm down. It was Crazy. Kevin says, OMG, TLC was crazy last night. Yes, Tiffany Chump says he's funny, but he was annoying before. He was really funny, but boy, he really came at some people and told them what he had to tell them. Stephanie says, about to watch the tell all now. Okay, so la la la. I don't want to ruin it for you. Okay, so don't listen. We are going to chat it, but of course, it's not going to be line for line or anything. Okay, so last night they admitted that Renee and Chitty weren't going to be there, so who cares about them? She was really rude. She's the girl. Was she from like New Mexico, Arizona, somewhere? She had a farm, 2 kids. Chitty was, oh my gosh, where did Chitty live? Now I've forgotten all of it. Such a nice guy. They'd been together like 5.5 years. They hadn't talked about anything. I mean, and she was so rude to him, rude to his sister, rude to the brother-in-law. I was just so over them all. So I was fine that they weren't on. I almost feel like it was a 90 Day Fiance or a TLC production decision for them not to be on, because she got a lot of crap online for being very similar to Angela Deem with Michael and being like emotionally abusive to Chitty. So I'm assuming that's why they weren't on, but I have no idea. Adnan already has his visa. I'm assuming the whole visa process, for one thing, they're already legally married in not Tunisia. Where'd they get married from? All these countries are bogging up in my brain. What country is from Adnan? Is Adnan from? Anyways, but that doesn't always mean because you get married in another country that somebody is going to be able to come over. I think it's a combination of them getting all their paperwork done together, done properly. It's a lot of money. It's thousands of dollars. Turkey is where he's from. Getting all the money together, and you can't have any Jordan. Thank you. And you can't have any legal issues, right? You couldn't have been even like, I think, speeding ticket. There's all sorts of reasons they want to make sure coming to the US, you're on the up, coming to the US legally, that you're on the up and up. Okay. So he's already over. They air this. She is 6 weeks out from having their little baby boy. They showed a few pictures. Super, super sweet. She is dressed. She's got her hairdo there. What's his name? Cruz. I'm like, are you this rich? Like, you flew Cruz from the Dallas area. They live in an area called Frisco, which is a suburb of Dallas. You flew Cruz to New York to do that hairstyle on you. Basically, her hair is parted down the middle. It's going down, and then she's got some little gold thing that she keeps fiddling with the entire time. She's fully covered in a beautiful dress, but when they asked her about it, it's not necessarily, I'm sure it's a combination, but she being respectful to his Muslim culture and religion, but she's also saying, look, I just had a baby. Like, I'm not here to be all out here. I'm not a size 0 or whatever she normally is, you know. So it was very interesting, borderline disturbing how quiet and submissive she seemed compared to the normal show. Now, it does seem like Adnan is there living with them in the house. I just wonder if she's just grown to respect and whatever his culture and religion, or if she's tired of fighting every day and just like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Wait, every gift card? Yeah, that's the least of their problems. But you're right. So much of everything from these people that have lost their homes is gone in flames for sure. He mentioned Jackie says Spencer was on Juicy Scoop a couple of times. I was laughing the entire time. Plus, he has Scoop, and he's willing to say it. But somebody did bring up Heather McDonald, and he made a TikTok about it. And he said, "Oh yeah, she's checked on me. She's great." So, anyways, yeah. Lisa says Tiger Lily is something else, putting up with his stupid, immature behavior. Yeah, the dude's only 23. And granted, I love if he's a model or has these businesses, whatever. That is fabulous at 23 years old. Great. There is a big difference between a 40-year-old, 41, whatever she is, 41, 42-year-old mom with an ex-husband or two, 3 children now, and married to a 21-year-old with now a baby together. That's just big difference. I don't know. It was kind of gross. Also kind of gross was Lauren. And now we find out that he drinks other people's pee and that Faith is back with him. This is in real time. Now I did get a little bit bored or distracted and was heating up my spinach, my canned spinach for part of dinner last night, and saw that Lauren was live on TikTok. And I was like, I can't watch this dude because I don't even want to hear what he has to say. I feel like as much as I wanted to think he was like a nice guy, I feel like he's just a scammer. Like now we know he's already been married and divorced to somebody else. But then when this was airing, he was with, and he'd already had sex with the girl that got him the wiener problems to begin with, the gonorrhea. He'd already had sex with her again. I'm just like, ugh. I need to watch it. Krista says, I think it was Sarah who recommended the Natalia doc on Max about the orphan from Romania. It's amazing, wild, surreal, worth a watch. I want to watch that. I want to watch the documentary and not, I feel like there was a biopic or a remake of her, and I want to watch the actual documentary. I need to watch that. Thank you for the reminder. Oh, for sure. Jet says, talking about the wildfires, or any fire, any thing where your house is devastated. I can't imagine such a loss. Like, even if you get a new place and new furniture, how do you ever personalize it? You have nothing. I know. It's just awful. I mean, even Spencer showed a video from Thanksgiving that was really private, because we do that too. We go around and say what we're thankful for, but like Spencer was in a t-shirt. I mean, his kids are just, it was just like a normal family video where they go around and he's at his parents' house and he's like, wow, now that table that was the table my whole life, that house that I grew up in is all up in flames because his parents lost their house. So yeah, gonorrhea of the wiener. Lisa says, Lauren just loves shocking people with his BS. I don't believe a lot of the things he says, especially after the video I sent you. Yes. I feel like there's something a little off with him. Even his best friend, ex-girlfriend, whatever, that was there yesterday at the tell-all, I feel like she was making excuses for him. Not even making excuses. I feel like she was trying to explain Lauren better because she knows him really well. But I do think I think he's just a little off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's all there with, his social skills, if you will. Niles and Matilda need $4,000 more to come. See, this is where the money comes in. $4,000 more from Matilda to come over. But Niles's parents now admitted to us that they think Matilda is a scammer. And she's like, look, there's a lot of people in Ghana that have money, a lot of men. And if I wanted money, I would just marry them. I don't remember if it was Adnan, but somebody, who was it, y'all? Somebody was really kind of rude, and under their breath, they were trying to imply like, but would those guys want you? And I was like, dude, like, seriously. I don't know how many tell-alls there's going to be. They didn't say. They kind of ended it before, it's all over. It wasn't Adnan. He was being a real dickhead, especially to, who's the girl? Vanya. Oh my God. He was like doing the bobblehead to Vanya, and Vanya was like standing up for herself. And I'm like, yeah. Vanya had Bojo there, who was like a real dick, like, oh, I gotta go. I got a meeting at 10 p.m. at night. I'm like, dude, she's like, you don't even have a job. They better, because I am way more invested in the other guy that she had instead of Bojo, because he came over, visited her in Orlando. I think they had talked about getting them, getting over. Yeah, he was, but Tiffany Chump, his wife didn't say anything, didn't even say, I would have been jabbing, but you can't. It's all about respect. It's all about respect, which, I mean, I couldn't be married to any man that demanded me to not jab him if they, if he was talking and being an asswipe like he was to Vanya. Tiffany Shump says, ugh, I rolled my eyes 200 times at him last night. I know, for sure. He was such a jerk. I haven't watched Traitors, but I did. Is it on episode 3? I have heard it's really good. Southern Belle says I'm very late, but did you watch Traitors? I bet a lot of people here have, because y'all been messaging me about it. My Houston show, Dr. Now. Speaking of assholes, I mean, dude is such a jerk. He'll be like, somebody that'll be like 580 pounds, and he'll be like, well, are you following my diet of no carbs and high protein and 1,200 calories a day? And I'm like, I'm nowhere near 580 pounds. There's no way I could only eat 1,200 calories a day. Like, that's very low to me. Like, that's ridiculous to me, because I don't think I could function on 1,200 calories. And I personally could not micromanage myself enough to like count all those calories. Like, that would be worse for me mentally, to be like, oh, what did I have? And oh, I'm a terrible person. Oh, I'm great because I had 12. No, I'm just not into that at all. Jet says Dr. Now's a legend. He's interesting. So I did see the commercials last night. My 600-pound life comes back Wednesday on TLC. So I'm sure I'll be chatting about that whenever a good episode comes up. I kind of wondered, I've been talking to y'all about these weight loss shots, which don't get me started. My insurance said it was going to be $35 a month. And now they're like, oh yeah, it's $35 a month. But before that, literally, this has been going on for weeks and 2 months. I mean, maybe 2 months. Now they're like, oh, but you got to meet your $8,000 deductible first. And I'm like, well, that's fine and dandy, but why did nobody ever say that? Like, I've always heard that we had a medical deductible, not a prescription deductible. So if you're on any of these medicines, these shots, and it's covered by your insurance, let me know if in January, because I called someone and theirs is not like that, but they have much better insurance we do. And also, she is type 2 diabetic. So I think it's a little bit different, because I am not diabetic, so I'm not getting Ozempic. I am getting Wegovy, because my BMI is 31.8, which is technically, yeah, I gotta love insurance. I mean, seriously, which I'm not opposed to, because it is a choice for me to help me lose weight and get healthier. And eventually with our insurance, you're going to pay that anyways. And then once you pay it, then our doctor's visits are much cheaper. Or if sadly anyone needed a surgery or a medical issue, all that would be cheaper, because we would have already met the deductible. So it's not like we're not going to meet the deductible with a family of 7, but I just didn't expect that. Only after the deductible is correct. Okay. I just didn't know that this was based on a prescription. Yes, anywhere from 600 to 800 a month. I'm just not willing to pay that. But I guess in the long run, I mean, let's break down what 8,000 is. It's ridiculous. 8,000 divided by 12, 666 a month. Anyways, who knows? I'm not on it yet. I've been dealing with insurance and prior authorization, all these things that nobody ever said. Anyways, and I should probably, I wonder if it's cheaper if I just paid out of pocket. I don't know. But I wanted to go through my actual doctor and get the prescription and get her take on all of this. So, I will give you all the lowdown, whenever I can, because I think YouTube's a little tricky about talking about all this weight loss stuff. When you get into the details, they start considering it like, oh, you need to be a medical doctor. I'm like, I'm not, I'm just giving you my take on it. So anyways, if I ever start it, no, I hadn't started taking it yet. Okay, let's chat Jeff Lewis live. Although the beautiful SiriusXM app went to the Julia Cunningham show when I was only about 20 to 40 minutes. I don't know. What were they talking about? Geez. They were definitely talking about price gouging. Jeff said it's business, because I wrote notes. Anyways, okay. On the first hour with Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Minkoff, they stayed on for the second hour, and then Michael Beck came on also. At first I thought she was bringing up that Jeff was bringing up the Godfrey Hotel, because I thought he wanted her take. on how nice it was, or if it was okay for her standards because of the whole Dr. Donna thing, but that wasn't it. She was basically talking about how it's only 20% booked because anyone vacationing or, the luxury of staying at a hotel, not being evacuated, they would have already left because they're going back to their homes or whatever, because of the fires. So there was hardly anyone at the hotel. So they didn't really talk about any of that for sure. Oh, how many times somebody has won a show? Oh, y'all are talking about Rob from yeah. Anyways, Crystal apparently on today's episode of, what's their website called? What's their podcast called? Oh, geez Louise. Humble Brag. I was like, what is their podcast called? Apparently on today's episode of Humble Brag, Crystal talks about this big 14 group friends that she lost. She kind of explains a little bit of it. Apparently it was one girl that wanted to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she was not on it because her family didn't want her to go on it. And then when Crystal accepted the job, like, she got mad and got all those girls to go against her. So sounds very familiar. I've definitely had something-ish happen to me like that, but it seems very 7th grade behavior to me. But she does explain that on their podcast, apparently. Who's excited for Jameson? I thought it was going to be an engagement announcement, but it's close. Him and Frank, whose real name is Brandon, are considering moving in together. They've been together almost 2 years in March, and they're talking about it. Jameson's going to get a new car. Like, I'm so excited for them. Like, I don't know if this will lead to marriage, if it will lead to anything, but I am so here for Jameson and Brandon together. I've met them a couple of times. They are literally the sweetest, most kindest couple, and I think they're so cute together for sure. Yeah, Diane says, I wonder if Jeff would have been more sympathetic if he lost his home. He seems a bit cold about the fire situation, but also one of the many things I think about Jeff, in particular to houses, he is very unemotional about a home, but also I think he's very unemotional about things in general. Like, I just don't think he would have that whatever, but I'm assuming Jeff would be devastated, obviously, and financially hurt and all those things, but more so for Monroe having to go through such a scary thing. That's why I keep thinking about all these kids and even college age adults, everyone that's ever worried about a wildfire or something spontaneous like this is, even if you're affected by the fires, then you definitely know, oh my God, excuse me, this happened, this can happen, this is real. But now you've got kids and adults and college age kids just worrying about it. Like, I don't even know how they're sleeping. Like, I'm so worried and anxious for them because I would worry if I went to sleep. What if something jumped over onto my house or my neighborhood and I didn't hear I mean, just the anxiety they must be dealing with. But even if their house hasn't been affected yet, hopefully it won't, of course, but the anxiety they must be feeling, especially the little kids, like kids that hair was, I'm reading a message. I'm reading it and saying it. Even whose kids' schools were burned or damaged in this, or maybe the smoke is too bad or what have you, they're now thinking, oh my gosh, what if my next school gets on fire? I mean, it's just awful. They've got to think about all of that and just the worry of it for sure. Jeff did talk a little bit about Gage, which he doesn't as much. Keeps talking about how Monroe keeps getting sick like every 2 weeks, and I think she's going to have some blood work done and kind of figure out that. She keeps like suddenly getting like nauseous. Remember, she passed out a month or two ago. She'll get sick and what have you. So they're just trying to figure out what's going on with that. But he did talk specifically about Gage and Scott and says that he hopes Gage and Scott stay together because Monroe is very connected to Scott's 2-year-old son named Stone. and that might be the only thing. Jeff only has one boy embryo left. Don't know if he's even ever going to try it. And Gage hasn't yet, if he ever will, start a process, because he's got embryos with his own sperm with the same egg donor. So that would become Monroe's half sibling if he ever had a child from those embryos. Um, I think he would do that. Or if he and Scott stay together, maybe they would do something. But I think Scott wants more kids too. So who knows? The winds are coming tomorrow. Oh, again. I did hear something about in a couple of days. It's going to happen again, though, maybe tomorrow, and winds expected to be 70 to 80 mile per hour. It's just awful. Okay. One thing that I'd never heard talked about this whole time, and Jeff and mostly Crystal Minkoff brought it up because I feel like she just had it recently done, or she's talking about these private firefighters that people are hiring. Clearly, you have to have the funds or the money for it, but basically, they come and they look at your particular house, clear out the brush, put this fire retardant on your plants and your shrubs, maybe put some of that red stuff on your home that I've seen on the TikTok videos. She thinks this has kind of become like an annual maintenance, maybe even something that fire areas prone to fires, maybe even insurance is going to require it, or maybe insurance will make you do. I'm not opposed to this. I mean, this sounds to me similar, like Crystal Minkoff said, to someone that has burglar bars on their house. They're choosing to spend that extra money to protect themselves, hopefully, from being broken into. Someone that has a house alarm that is, protecting them, hopefully, from being broken into. All of these are extra things that the homeowner does on their own dime to hopefully prevent something from happening. To me, it's the same with hiring a private firefighter. But I want to know what your thoughts are, because some people are saying they use up the public water system. I don't think they do. I think they bring in their own water source, But even if they do, which I don't think they use public water, I think it would help potentially other houses around them, because if that house doesn't catch on fire, then that can't lead other houses to catch on fire. So I don't know. I'd never heard of it. No idea what it costs. I think there's obviously different levels you can do. But like she mentioned, I mean, obviously the cost is way different, but she mentioned like pest control. You get your ants, you bring in someone to like spray your house for ants, spray for snakes, whatever. And, a private firefighter is the same thing. So I am sure this is something that a lot of the wealthy and the celebrities maybe won't admit to, but it might be the reason you've got one house that's magically not burned down. But to me, if they are choosing to take care and protect their investment, I mean, like, was it Crystal that talked about some of these people had bought their house in Palisades decades ago for like 700,000, which seems like a ton to me, because I'm in Texas, we get houses for a good rate. But decades ago, and now it's worth 2 or 3, 4 million. That is probably their retirement. Like, they would eventually sell that home, and the profit from all those decades would be what would care for them in their later years. I don't know, right? Okay, Jet says my contact, y'all know I'm trying out a new contact, and this one's a bifocal, and I'm not loving it. Jet says they pay for and bring their own water tanks, so they don't use city water. So it's all about what money will buy. And when people get upset about that, like I saw someone on my TikTok say like it was like privilege for me to say that. And I'm like, let's be clear. Everything in America, and I would venture to say almost the world, boils down to privilege or money at some point. I mean, for someone to say, oh, it's a privilege to live in a 6,000 square foot house. Well, yes, it is, but also it depends on what they did to earn that 6,000. Is it privilege to be a lottery winner? I mean, someone just bought a ticket and they just happened to win a lottery and win a bunch of money. I mean, I don't know at what point is it a privilege to put your kids in private school? Is it a privilege to wear name brand clothes versus, I mean, everything's a privilege. But to me, when you're choosing to spend your own money to prevent and protect your house from specifically burning down, I don't see this as a negative. I really don't. I'm not going to blame anyone for spending their own money. Raquel talking about Jeff says Jeff is waiting a long time, too long to give Monroe a sibling. Then they'll be a lot of years apart. Yeah, I think he's just nervous because this is his last one, and it didn't work the last time. So yeah, Melanie says, and people have lost their insurance too. So maybe a private firefighter is their only option. But also, and I'm talking out of my arse here, but what I've heard about even some of the celebrities going on the news and talking about, look, we used to, the government, the city, the counties, whatever, used to manage all these wildfires by burning them in these controlled burns. And now we don't do that because we don't want the wildlife hurt, or we don't want this, or we don't want that. But now it's hurting humans, like houses and people are dying. So there's got to be some kind of, agreement, whatever you want to call it, where we're doing this, because they said that all this stuff was so dry, and the brush and all that. They used to do like 4 million acres of controlled burns a year, and now they did like 40,000. So I don't know the facts on all that. I don't know anything about the water, why there was no water or little to no water in the fire hydrants. Know anything about these reservoirs that were drained for maintenance, whatever. Just seems like people should have known about this, and maybe, it's not like this just happened. They were talking on the news. I mean, Doug Buden warned everyone, be careful of the wind thing that's going to happen. You know what I mean? And like I think Cynthia said, other people around the country, their insurance is going to go up. That had nothing to do with this, because we all collectively have to keep the insurance companies in, profit. Southern Belle says, I'm sure the insurance companies will be sued by the masses for canceling insurance, but it will take a while. And also, like for us, we have tropical storms and hurricanes, right? So we were building a house years ago, and our house was fine as we were building it, but a lot of people got black mold. So our homeowners insurance went up a ton, and we didn't have a claim. We didn't have black mold. We didn't have any damage, nothing. But collectively, your insurance goes up. So I don't know. Southern Belle says, doesn't Spencer's parents have lots of money? I don't know anything about their money, but I'm assuming very people are poor if they're living and maintaining and paying the taxes, the maintenance on a house in Pacific Palisades, right? There might be areas that are different, but anyways. Okay. We are going to wrap things up soon. If you did want to call in real quick, 713-489-8488, but we are closing in on time. The second hour, Michael Beck and them talked about, I didn't realize that Michael Beck and Cynthia were such good friends, like not good enough friends that she stays with him when she comes to LA. Like, I assume she stayed with her daughter all the time. Like her daughter's like single and like 25, 27 years old. Like, I don't know, but seems to stay with her, which is interesting. It's just like the friendship I never knew that was so close there. So Michael Beck has already evacuated. He's got, to make things easier, his brother's a firefighter somewhere, and just said, look, just get out. All these things are popping up so quickly. You don't want to last minute have to evacuate. Just get out of the situation. That way you're not dealing with any of that. So, the price gouging, they did bring up the prices of rental homes, and Jeff said it's business. And as harsh as that sound, it sort of is. But I think there's rules when there's like natural disasters that people cannot price gouge, right? But like Jeff said, well, what's 10% over 10%? Oh, Michael, everyone wants you to call in. Call my cell phone or call the number. Don't be giving out my cell phone number. Okay, but this made sense because I think I talked to you all about this a while ago. We were renting a house, an Airbnb, for one of our kids' college graduations, and for that weekend, and the price was like $12,000. $1,000 for 2 nights on college graduation weekend. It's all about supply and demand. That's what America is about. Nobody comes in and says, oh, that's not right. Don't take advantage. All the hotels hike up their rates on college graduation weekends, big football weekends, big events like New Year's Eve in New York City and Times Square, all of that stuff. Christmas time, they raise the rates of the hotels. Skiing season, they raise the rates of all the resorts. I mean, it's supply and demand. So it's not good, but it's normal because it's going to become an insurance thing. It's going to be, oh, we will pay up to, it's almost like sometimes I've gone to the doctor and I've asked them, oh, what do I owe? And they're like, oh, 172. And they're like, oh, and then I'll see someone next to me paying cash and they're like, it's 144. And I'm like, I have insurance and I'm paying more. Like, it doesn't even make sense. But sometimes insurance, they will just charge you whatever because they know insurance is going to pay it, right? Crazy. What is this? Oh, what are y'all talking about? Oh, yes. What are y'all talking about? Sherry says, I'm a proud older parent. Don't speak about what you don't know. How many American kids are raised by grandparents in this country because their young parents weren't able to raise them? There's a lot of people raised by, I mean, as a teacher for 5 years, I can tell you there's so many grandparents that are the guardians of kids because we get the list and they're immediately, what's going on? Why are y'all fighting? Why is Sherry and Krista fighting? I must have missed whatever you were talking about. Southern Belle says, when the masses left Florida, when that awful hurricane was coming, the awful hotels raised the prices. Oh, for sure. We see that all the time here. When Texas in February of 2021, I had got safely up to a hotel in Dallas and got a hotel for me and my daughter. But when it got worse than ever expected down here, and then my husband and the other 4 kids were trying to evacuate, there was no hotels and they were super expensive. So that definitely happens for sure. Okay, there's no fight. I love y'all both. Let's take a deep breath, everybody. There's a lot going on. Literal deep breath. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. You know, I'm part of this mentor program and I'm doing this separate optional training that's called attunement. And one of the things they talked about was a square. I think it's 4 seconds, but now I forgot. But you breathe up 4 seconds and in your brain, you literally go up 4 seconds. Then you hold your breath for 4 seconds. Then you breathe out for 4 seconds. And then you breathe in again. You do a square of breathing in for 4 seconds. And it's supposed to be very calming. I definitely breathe in and out a lot as a human during all this awful news going on. So anyways, are you not going to call in, Michael? They just love hearing your voice also. Kay Kitty says, I'm a mom to 3 kitty cats, and then I have a large feral cat rescue down in San Diego. That's about as much as I can handle. That's awesome. We have such a big yard. I do have a pool, so that gets a little tricky with animals, but I keep thinking, oh my gosh, I wish I could take in all these dogs that are just, you know, displaced right now and tell them where their pets are, because, you know, I know a lot of people are not going to be in a situation to take care of their pets for a while. So anyways, it's just awful. Like I said, the Julia Cunningham show came on. Michael Brown is calling. Hello.
What's going on?
You're requested by everyone.
Oh boy. Well,
how's it going in Orlando?
It's good, fun. We're hopefully going to get some rain. Let's hope for some rain.
Oh, y'all need rain? Okay.
I hope so. But yeah, these fires, I mean, I think it's gotten everybody really on the edge of their seat. It's overwhelming. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, we walk around our houses and, you know, everyone's talking about what would you take? And it's like, oh, good God. You know, I mean, we've been through this in Florida with the hurricanes,
right,
packing everything up. But it's a lot to comprehend, you know. And to have lost every single thing is just really beyond the pale.
Yeah, I think it's overwhelming. And a lot of us think, oh my gosh, this could happen to me. What if this happened to me? What would I do? I'm not prepared. And then that's stressful. Obviously, we're empathetic to everyone going through it or worried for anyone that will go through it. But I agree. Somebody even said, like on social media, on our local group that we have in our town, that people were getting feisty with each other. It's just everyone's on high alert. It's like the stress is getting to everyone all over the country, you know.
But the things that I've heard, like some things like they left the parrot in the house. Now, what? I mean, crazy things.
Oh.
Didn't take my jewelry, didn't take my wedding ring. I mean, what are you doing?
Well,
I mean, don't you have, I mean, doesn't everybody have, I mean, this is what I'll say today. Doesn't everybody have all their papers in a little mini safe? Yeah. You know, I mean, I've got 2 little mini safes. It's got photographs, papers, all the documents, birth certificates, everything is right there.
Yeah.
It's a fire. You grab your dog, your kids, those 2 lock boxes. You know, if you can get some clothes, great. Other than that, hello, here we go. What are we going to do?
Right, right. I just think in a panic.
Yeah. But in a panic, you got to have common sense.
Yeah.
Get the lock boxes. But everyone should just.
And don't leave the parrot.
Like a lesson here for everybody.
But I do wonder, like, if someone's going to a hotel, how do you bring the parrot? Like, I don't even know. Do you leave it in the car? I mean, parrots are very unique, right? Most of us have dogs and cats, but it is.
You just bring the parrot. You figure it out. They'll let you in. They're waving animal feeds. I mean, how do you leave your parrot? I just don't. You know,
save the parrots. Save the parrots.
Save your animal, your pet.
Annette says, Michael, preach.
Well, I mean, it's just, that makes me insane. You know, woman, you know, left her wedding ring in her drawer. I mean, oh my God, why aren't you wearing it? You know, this is what I'm saying out loud in my empty house.
Okay, Michael, do you think she really left the engagement ring in the fire? I do think this is an awful situation where some awful humans will take advantage of things and, you know, have a car that got in the fire, or have a car they couldn't afford, or, oh, I left my laptop and my da-da-da and my da-da-da. I mean, I don't know. You people are definitely gonna milk it, but I hope not. But, you know, whatever it's very stressful for everyone.
I mean, there's always bad people, but I just hear some of these stories and I think, oh my God, you know, priorities. I mean, I know you're in a panic. I get it. I mean, we have the panic here with the hurricane. So I've had that experience of maybe we have to go, you know, and we packed everything up and we were waiting. Now, we never had to leave, but I've been there. So once I went through that experience once, you've got to get your stuff together, you know, and all your papers should be in one place.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody would agree with that. I mean, I can't see the comments talking to you, but I mean, jeepers, everybody on this call should at least make sure that all their stuff's together. That's
Alice. Hey, Michael, big news. Allison wants to know if you're from the Boston area originally.
Originally from Rhode Island, but moved to Boston and then moved to Florida.
Okay. You've got such a thick Florida accent. It's so hard to.
I don't think I have any accent at all. That's the funniest thing. Yeah.
That's a good one, Michael. That's a good one. You do.
I always said, what accent? What are you talking about?
Exactly. Anyways, well, thank you for calling in. High demand.
You are welcome anytime. I'm here.
Adore you.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye. Love him. So funny. He has no accent at all. That's hilarious. Anyways, yes, Krista says all taxes, all wills, all DNRs, which is do not resuscitate, everything should be in a go bag. If nothing else, I have this little plastic, it's probably, I don't even know, 20 inches by 4. I don't know. It's small, very quick to pick up, a plastic filing system. And in that is a separate thing for taxes, a separate thing for insurance, a separate thing for all of our passports, all of our birth certificates. That's very quick to pick up. The problem is thinking of all the other stuff, your prescriptions, the whatever. But and these people, a lot, this was in the news the weekend before it all happened on Monday, Tuesday, but the widespread and the surprise locations shocked and took a lot of people off guard because it wasn't following like normal fire patterns. So it's just awful. But to blame anyone for not getting everything together and out, we have no idea, obviously. And it's not blame. I don't mean blame, but for us to not understand, we don't know what anything else they might have been dealing with either. So, anyways, but pack your parrot. Don't leave that parrot. I think parrots live a long time. So, anyways. Kay Kitty says, my to-go bag is a large, extremely heavy duffel bag. A small child could fit in there. I'm not worried if I need to go quickly. Everything's in there that I need. That's perfect. And then when you need it, you know where to go also. So that helps you forever, every day. You know what I mean? So yeah, we all need an evacuation bag for anything. I mean, this world is getting crazy, Okay. Okay. Sherry is wonderful. I've met her. Krista is wonderful. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like we all need a group hug. So let's just group hug it out. Okay, we are gonna go. I will see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please make sure you're following me everywhere or give me a 5-star rating and review anywhere you listen to your podcast. It's Sarah from Texas. Yeah, Nick James said people should prep for the fires like they do for hurricane season. It's a routine every year. Again, I just think a lot of this was unpredictable for sure. Like the severity of it, the space of it, everything. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. I don't know what y'all are saying. Oh, 37 degrees. Okay. We are going to go. I'm concerned because I don't know what's going on with this discussions. Yes, group hug, Deborah says. Okay, group hug. Okay. Bye, Chumpets.